Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And welcome to this post-production podcast, episode
20, I think.
We've had
I'm pretty sure it's 20.
a double decade moment.
It's none of our business what episode it is.
You're just here to watch the episode. You don't need to know the number.
So we got a big surprise
So many
for you
details.
today.
Got a big surprise.
Big surprise. No. It's because we promised to watch Fast and Furious 10. We are going to watch it at some point. It's not in the way we wanted to. But we have got another movie that we watched, and it's actually horror related. So this is this is technically more down to ZeusWeusFilm lineage. You know.
We're talking about Boogeyman.
Is it Boogeyman or Boogeyman? I always thought it was Boogeyman.
I thought it was Boogeyman.
I think it's Boogeyman.
Well,
I
was looking at the wrong
thought it was the
place.
Boogeyman.
I
It's
don't know.
Boogie.
It was well, they're American. They say boogies.
Boogie's what flies after you when you're in a plane. And you have to shoot it down.
Top Gun man.
Is this guy a terrorist?
Top Gun
Top Gun man.
reference.
Top Gun there, man. Oh man, bring it
So,
back.
I don't even know if it's worth pulling up the cast for this movie.
What do you mean?
We're like wearing casts.
I don't know if it's worth pulling up the cast to try to remember the characters' names. Is this like
Oh,
dad
who's
one,
the little girl
old
called?
daughter, young daughter,
Maisie Williams and that.
Korean?
The only name I remember is the young daughter because Sawyer's such a weird name.
Yeah, there's Sawyer, Sadie, and Will. I think the dad's Will.
Yeah.
So-
Will you
Will
not be in
Smith.
this film? Yeah.
Well,
the movie
watch
the movie I would call it delves a lot into therapy and darkness.
It was a therapy session in itself. I think I learned a lot. I feel
Yeah.
traumatized.
Yeah, I mean, you could have stopped smacking your lips together during that.
I was like,
And Michael, your favourite bit was when like the Boogeyman comes out and goes, "Mum's with the maggots now."
I was like, kill me. Can't be here.
Right, so the Boogeyman.
Do we let Mike try to describe the story of this movie?
Right, starts, little girl, school, monster comes in after boy hangs himself in the closet, stays in the house, dad doesn't believe them, there's a monster. Mum shows up for a friend, she died, also, at the start, yeah. And then, the dad believes him in the end whenever he breaks his leg.
Yeah.
It takes him to break his leg.
Takes him to break his leg, but still not believed him.
The dad, played by Will Smith. He walks in, he's just like, "Keep my daughter's name out your mouth." Just slaps the Boogeyman. And
Slap
that's the end.
Sawyer. He
Yeah,
ducked.
so
My own kid.
And does it.
His hands are quite bad.
They reverse it.
That's actually quite good little summary there, to be honest.
that is effectively the story.
The starting scene kind of says the premise. Well, that's the only real one I'm going to talk about fully, unless you just want to go in deeper, you know. Actually, no. Michael's summary there, right? We're going to do spoilers from here. Right, so if you like Michael's summary and want to go watch the movie based on that,
Spoilers.
spoilers now. So you start off in this random lovely suburban American area. Lovely house. And there's this kid who's just sleeping there. There he pans down on this little kid sleeping. It's quite creepy actually. Adam didn't think there was a kid in the cot at first.
That kid wasn't there.
Yeah, and then there's
for sure.
appeared for CGI apparently.
I know the kid slaughtered the beast. I don't know who won that.
And then you just get the old creaking door opens because it's the Boogeyman. He has to stay in the dark.
Yeah.
Daytime. He comes out and it's basically one shots you.
Yeah.
I didn't actually expect him to one shot some kid at the start. I was like, that's actually, you know what, fair play to them. They're just going all out at the start.
That kid knew they were as well. Like as soon as the door opened, they just started crying like shit.
Yeah,
There's nothing I can do.
and then
Cut to the kid, like,
so that's meant to be. So basically, skipping forward. Yeah, no. Is that meant to be the guy? You know the guy who like turns up at.
I think so. I think
Yes,
that's meant to be one of his kids.
That's what
Where
Kevin
the was the
Spacey's
guy?
victim
Because
say.
the Wayne's crying for about a good 20 seconds to 30 seconds. He's nowhere to be seen.
It was building suspense, panning away from the monster as he approached the little girl. The little girl starts crying her face off.
I don't know, because like it started speaking to him, so obviously the way they can later know the way it was mimicking Sadie.
Mm-hmm.
It was mimicking him to the wee baby at the start.
But like, where was he during this?
He was downstairs playing Fortnite on the PlayStation.
It's like, stop murdering people up there.
Like, there's something about scenes in horror movies where it's like, and this movie has it as well, where it's just complete inept parents.
Yeah.
It's becoming rife in horror movies now. Maybe it always has been. Like Home Alone, for example, not a horror movie, but like complete inept parents. Like,
He never grew up.
the dad for this movie, every sign is there. He lets a guy come into his office and go, "Hey, my kids were killed by a shadow man." His children start seeing shadow men. Him,
Yeah.
I don't believe you. You need to go to therapy. But you can't go to therapy with me because I'm your dad. Sends him off to some random girl he's even creepier than the Boogeyman.
Oh, it's just
That
so funny.
second therapist is more
Just-
creepy than the Boogeyman.
That
was
is
like-
true.
Whenever that red
Undegenerate,
light
but
scene
it's
comes
from
up and
the
she's
south.
just standing there with a grin on her face for some reason.
Here's the
Yeah,
weird
she turns
fucking
into a demon.
This is a weird thing about that movie, though, right? There's a lot of things that don't make sense. For starters, why you didn't hear the kid crying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Second of all, so like, it's set up that they actually, like, the parents have been accused of murdering their kids. How is he able to just walk into the guy's office? Why is he not in prison? If they actually believe he killed his kids.
Well, it's probably one of the ones where like there's enough evidence.
I mean, the kid's just lying there one shot at the cot. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the-
yeah,
that's
but
all the
like,
evidence.
if there's no like, there's no like killer weapon or.
It's like the baby didn't show up to school. Like something's off.
Boss baby.
Well, that's
She
the thing,
shows
like,
up in
their
nice
house is like completely like their house is like completely filled up with lights and like mold in the
Yeah.
ceiling. Like, how could nobody have noticed?
The dad's like,
Oh,
I shouldn't do this,
like I don't know.
but I'm so naughty. Oh.
To me, it was a bit of a strange one. Like,
that scene of the whole movie.
the movie in general.
It is a bit of a strange
Like,
movie.
I don't know whether I liked certain aspects of it or just hated like 60% of it, because like it might be because of like the genre, but like any time I thought I was gonna be watching some sort of like Conjuring movie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but the way it was like the doors would open, you
Yeah.
hear a creak.
That was terrifying, I thought.
It
were
was
jumping
terrifying. It was
off
like watching a
Yeah.
Conjuring movie to me.
I was like,
he missed like the best scene.
What?
There's like, I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it, but there's a bit in the movie. You went out to the bathroom during this bit where like she came in and the wee girl was like saying to her sister like, "You have to listen to me," and she just like started like, she walked into her room, slammed the door. started
Yeah, that was
yelling at
actually a
the
good
door,
scene. That was
and it
actually
just,
a good
like,
scene.
It just burst through the door and like went into her her face,
I missed that.
and she
You
woke
missed
up.
that.
It was like all a dream.
Why did
Yeah.
no one know? Why would
So
no one come
basically,
to
she
the
goes
bathroom
to
and
like
get me?
old girl's house, comes back, and she goes, "No, you don't believe me?" And then it's just like walks in and closes the door, and it's like, "Sawyer, go away!" And then doors burst down. Sadie
man.
gets one shot.
Really?
The boogeyman.
So
in
he
this-
gets slapped about the whole film.
The boogeyman in this movie just kind of looks like, you know that movie Quiet Place.
Yes.
It looks like those
Yeah.
things, like the big.
Sim universe.
It reminded me of
Yeah.
the Wendigo from Until Dawn as well. Which.
The
I
Wen-
haven't even seen it.
Well, Until Dawn, it's the game.
Oh, it's
But
a
it's-
game.
It's a game, but it's like.
It's a game movie.
It's a game movie, but like, if anyone's ever watched it or played it, like kind of said that it's like basically a white feral ghoul thing. Like that was the one thing about the monster was like, I've seen so many monsters like that thing get one shot in any other piece of media. Like if that's like an alien,
Yeah.
those things are running across a battlefield getting one shot, like massacred. But because he's in the dark all the time, like, oh, I'm spooky. He just kind of appears and like one shots folk.
We all know a family member that.
Also, there's only 2 characters who die in this movie. No, there's 3 characters who
Uncle.
die via the Boogeyman in this movie,
Yeah.
and they're all in the same family. There's a young kid who gets one shot to start. There's
Slaughtered.
the dad who gets absolutely
Bamboozled.
I was
he-
literally going to say that.
he gets bamboozled. I'm just gonna say now that scene as well. So basically, near the start of the movie, there's a guy who walks into Will's office, Will being the main dad. This guy's a secondary dad, but you can tell he's a bit unkempt. He's a bit
Doesn't like open
disheveled.
doors. Yeah.
He's not really enjoying life right now. He sits down. They're going for the usual therapist. Like, so why are you here?
Why'd you slaughter
Yeah.
your baby?
And also, the Will doesn't usually take on walk-ins. He
Yeah.
usually prefers phone-ins first to actually get a gauge of the actual client.
Yeah.
This guy then,
Get the memo.
this guy for some reason comes in with the idea that Will is going to completely believe him from the offset, but that what he's saying isn't insane, and that he can get angry, and he thinks that because Will's wife died recently, he's going to understand. And it's once I heard that line, I was like, I can't imagine. It's like Lucy's like, well, you have 2 kids, so you can imagine. And I'm like, what? What am I watching? This guy's like, he's not even trying to understand. Like, he's not even trying to understand that, like, him losing 2 kids doesn't mean that he can imagine losing 2 kids. Because how can you? I don't know.
He's like, I know a guy, I'll make it disappear.
It fried me out. But basically, at the start of the scene, because this guy's so petrified of the boogeyman, he's so just creeped out by it. He goes to the guy, Will's like, shut the door. And like then Will shuts the door, but by the end of the scene when Will walks out to rightfully call the police on this guy.
Yeah.
Which I thought this guy was going to be the boogeyman.
That's what I was gonna say. You said something like that to me. You were like, "Oh like he is the boogeyman," and I was like, "Imagine if that is like that's how he gets into people's houses."
That's how he got into the house.
Yeah.
So
the spirit was in his body.
So the way how you find out that he's definitely not the boogeyman is you go through the scene with the dad who's just doing a phone call. Saying like, oh no, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know why he's here. He's kind of turned up. He actually can't get him. He said that his kids all got murdered, but like people think he done it. Yeah. Which obviously is not a good thing to say. Then it gets to, then Sadie comes back home after being absolutely ruined by her friends. Whenever they just bully her and throw like I don't know, like push out over like I don't know, like
because she didn't let us smoke up a jam.
Like some like I don't know, like mayonnaise over dress, her mum's dress.
You got mayonnaise all over that.
She tells people it's mayonnaise.
I don't know, like coleslaw or some she then
she eats it.
Walks. She then goes. She then knows that there's someone walking around the house because she's like, wait, why is all this stuff getting moved around? And all her art gets thrown down. So from there is then a scene of kind of cat and mouse where she's walking through, kind of looking for this guy because she feels that there's someone there. But then she opens the closet, no one's there. Dad walks in, which is meant to be a jump scare, and they hit you with another jump scare because.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah, he was like, hey,
he's hanging out. That's what I'm gonna say. He's hanging out, having a lovely time.
He's like, I can only get off if I'm on the verge of death, okay?
And you can't see Michael's hand right now, but I'm telling you right now, you do not want to see it.
We don't wear trousers in the podcast.
But
okay, get some weapons.
Going. So that's the scene with the dad, and then later on, that guy's wife, the guy he was just hanging out.
Oh, she got.
She's meant to be like your badass. I'm gonna take this monster out sort of thing. She gets absolutely clapped. Like she thinks she's killed it. It's the classic
career over.
That was I just killed the beast, and then literally our Hunter Files episode where it's like, oh guys, I killed the beast. Beast then just reappears and kills him.
That's not what I'm saying. It's Hunter Files came first.
It's so scary.
That scene as well. She sets up these bear traps with loaded shotgun shells. She herself is carrying a shotgun. The thing trips the wires. 5 shotguns fire at her, then she comes in and is like doof, doof, and spits on it.
Yeah.
It just jumps up and like yings her and like that's it. But
whenever
it tore in half, they go back to the house and Sadie picks up a hockey stick and is like, yeah, I seen it bleed. I think we can hurt it. And it's like, yeah, you seen it bleed after like 7 shotgun shells and you've got a hockey stick.
Yeah, and also like multi-layered traps all on top of each other. It was.
Wait, did she actually get torn in half? I didn't see that.
No, so basically in between, like, the lights flickering, you see her basically like she's basically trying to shoot it while it's grabbing her, and then it basically rips her in half.
Oh, I just like thought it just sort of like shook her and then she just died.
She's like, give me some privacy.
It shook her, and as she was shooting, in between the shotgun flashes, you see the shotgun flash and she just gets ripped at the end of it.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It was actually a pretty good scene, like
Thomas was looking at it going like, I love seeing people get torn in half. It's really nice.
No. Check from me.
It reminded me of the scene in Annabelle where like they talked to like the old lady who's like in in Annabelle, the one we're in like the random like farmhouse I don't know where the orphanage one.
Annabelle Creation.
Yes, that's the one. Annabelle Creation. And then there's like the old lady who's like sort of like understands what's happening.
Yeah.
They go and speak there, and it's all kind of creepy. But then like they go into her room later on, and she's just like literally like sprayed over the walls.
I don't remember.
Do you not remember that?
No.
Don't
Whereas like
know
at the
that.
end, whenever it's all going crazy at the end, they go and run into that room, and like literally she's just like hung up on the wall, like tore in half, displayed on the wall.
I don't remember. The only scene I really remember from that movie is I remember like two scenes. When we went to see it in high school, were you there?
Yes.
Do you remember the bit like it was like the first time like the monster actually shows up, and like your like guy that lives there holds up like a cross,
yeah,
and then his
fingers
fingers
start
just bend
breaking.
backwards, and it's just like why are we seeing this?
That was unfortunate.
And then I
Yeah.
remember that scene. I think there was like a scarecrow man later. He's just like dancing across the garden like this.
Yeah.
But
That was a ghost.
that was
Could I do
alright.
this?
Well,
you're talking about Fast and Furious and all that. I want to sit down and watch every movie inside the Conjuring universe sometime.
Oh
Like,
man,
all the Conjuring movies, like The Nun,
we spill the
Curse of La
popcorn.
Llorona.
the Nun would have been the latest one, isn't it? So.
No. Sure, last year we all went to see Conjuring 3. The Devil made me do it,
Something like that.
Oh yes.
and I think
remember seeing
Conjuring 4 is coming out now. Soon.
They get
Too
scarier
many of
every
them.
time.
I
Well-
actually really liked the third one, to be fair.
it. So
I don't remember.
this movie personally,
Yeah. Oh,
right, so on a personal standpoint,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many spoilers I want to go into. I thought as a horror movie nowadays, it's pretty generic. There's not too many. You have your typical things of like high school girl who's like basically getting bullied,
yeah.
Yeah.
or like high school character who's getting bullied, and for some reason she has one friend and the other three who are like basically nobodies in the movie, like they barely appear, but they're just so annoying every time they're on screen.
Oh, the friend. You don't get like a massive like.
Like I actually feel
Hard,
for
yeah.
anybody who has to play them types of roles where they're literally just a character who's there to be annoying. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's just there just to be an asshole to one of the main characters, and then go like, oh, is that how you dress your mom wore? That's creepy.
Yeah.
Throws thing over her, then I like.
It didn't make
walks away.
sense for her to even have them round at the house, but they
Yeah,
did
it
serve a
literally
purpose.
made no sense.
They served the purpose though in locking the older sister in the closet. She started to believe that this monster was real,
Yeah.
because she was always saying to the little sister like it's not real,
Well, that's
and then she's seen it for herself.
Yeah.
that's running a bit on. Like basically, the whole movie is meant to basically go. Not the end of it too much, but like the way I saw the movie was, so the kid Sawyer believes it from the start because the monster like comes in beneath her bed.
Oh.
No pause. Just CUMES.
Oh yeah.
Then
That scene was
Sadie
so stupid as well.
Sadie then basically doesn't fully believe her start, but she's suspicious, so she investigates more. And the dad throughout the entire film until the end is completely oblivious,
Yeah.
completely useless, won't talk to his kids.
Keep
throughout-
my daughter's name out your
Slapping himself
He's-
in the mirror.
I just said at one point there was a scene where he walks into Sadie and goes, "Hey, so if you need to talk about a thing, you talk." 20 seconds later, he goes, "Hey, I think it's time to hit the hay." I said to Alan, Parent of the Year award 10 out of 10.
no.
The exact line.
Yeah, he didn't
was
say
like,
much.
The exact line was just like, she was saying it doesn't feel real that like mum's dead, and then he goes, you're seeing the doctor tomorrow, right? Why don't you talk to her about it? She's just like,
Yeah.
but I want to talk to you about it. He's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's good. Like,
Is it-
Yeah.
Is literal dialogue on the subtitles goes, yeah. I think it's time to hit the hay. And
That's
it gets
true.
up
Like,
on
you don't
one
really
side.
see him much.
And then
Yes.
he's sort of useless.
Yeah, next time you see him, he's like taking all the mum's stuff down.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh.
next time after that, he's getting sucked into the house.
No, that scene made that scene. There's really no conflict in that scene. So he comes out with literally all of the mum's stuff, right? Goes to throw
Yeah.
away. She was like, "Hey, did I not get to ask you about this?" Says one thing about like the mom and him, and he ends his buckles and goes, "Yeah, you can keep the stuff." And she's like, "All of it? I get to choose how much I keep." And he goes, "Yeah, you can keep all of it if you want." I'm like, "What?" And then he's like, "Oh yeah, just put it in the
Bro,
basement."
That was literally
What?
just the setup that you have all that shit in the basement. It was literally
Yeah.
He
like,
comes out wearing the dress. He's like, I really miss her.
it,
Throws himself down the stairs.
I don't want to be mean to the film, but I actually like the best way to describe it, I think, is like it feels like the movie wanted to have so many like plot points and like setups that horror movies usually have, but just thought, oh, we can just skip to them. We can just like
Yeah, it needed to be
have them
longer.
there. and like people know like, oh, there's the dad that's like sort of distant. There's like the bitchy friends that are like bully her and like don't understand what she's going through. These are just like horror movie tropes. And it's like, I will just throw them in there. People understand. It's like instead of actually like setting them up in their own unique way.
It felt very generic. I'm just gonna be honest. I seen Smile last year with Michael, and I would say Smile is more interesting than this.
Yeah,
I
get that. Yeah, I think
Smile is a more introspective idea of like.
I was comparing it to Smile too. Like in my head, the cinematography was similar to it. It's quite creepy.
Yeah, like
but yeah.
There's a lot of sort of aspects like even like there's like it's because it's the whole monster is meant to come out like like don't get your kids.
Yeah.
But like the whole thing about the movie is this isn't me trying. I understand it's meant to be centered around one family, right? To me, it would have been 10 times better if it was a whole neighborhood that was getting infected by this boogeyman, and you actually have deaths.
That'd been a long film.
No. But what I mean is like you have individual families, right? But they're all having to come together to deal with this boogeyman because he's basically infecting their neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
The issue with the boogeyman's movie is he does all. He does nothing throughout the movie. He gets 3 kills.
He has no lines.
2 of which are like the first like 20, the first like 10 minutes. He's a 4.
He kills 2 of his kids at the start. You don't see the other one.
Yeah, but that's off camera, so I don't count it in this movie.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying
on screen. I don't think the baby's dead. I will say that.
I actually think that the baby this is actually in the future.
Yeah.
And that was actually the after credits scene. I think the baby actually killed the baby.
After credits, the baby's just walking over like all the bodies with like a gun
on the shoulder, just like.
It's like apocalypse that everything's wiped out. It's like.
Well, do you think there'll be a sequel to this movie?
I don't know. It depends on.
I hope there isn't. I think the Boogeyman should be a one and done movie. Don't bring it back.
I think it'd be
thought
good
the
if it was
actors
a one
all
and
done
done.
good. I thought the actors were all good.
Yeah.
And I think what they done with the idea was good, but there's just so many areas where you could just add a bit more, have him be a bit more creepy. He's creepy. The Boogeyman's creepy.
Yeah.
But like. He doesn't do anything for half the movie. He throws the young girl onto a TV at one point, and I literally felt no danger for her. And
he says, "Take that."
There's a couple of scenes.
Apart from him ripping apart the woman as well, that was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
That was improv.
No. I'll tell you what the creepiest parts of this movie, which there wasn't enough of, and anytime there was, they didn't do anything with it. Is the scenes where it's like she'd be like standing in the kitchen at night. And you just see 2 like eyes in the darkness.
I think they get a lot of stuff from It, because It had that too. Like in the basement scene when he goes down to see Georgie and it's like the eyes. I kept saying stuff about like It.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree with that. Like I think the creepiness of him appearing in the background of things was cool, but whenever he comes out and does absolutely all at points, like that final fight scene. He breaks the dad's leg by throwing him. That's it.
Yeah.
Like when you think about it, like that's it. Tell you the fight scene with his best feat throughout the movie, right, was probably taking all of them traps, then multiple shotgun rounds, and then just killing the girl.
Yeah.
But like, he just wasn't. It seems weird that I'm saying something about a horror movie. He wasn't strong enough to redeem the fact that he was really creepy at points, but whenever he comes out and then does absolutely all for most of the movie,
they see him coming.
It's
You know,
like, and also he's very limited. It's like, oh, he can only appear in the dark. If just set a bunch of candles around like that, all done.
Yeah.
And like he had that, when he's coming because he literally can only emerge from darkness.
Yeah. Imagine how many times she had to get thrown around before she thought she'll light a candle.
Well, imagine how many times she had to go to Home Depot or something, buy a bunch of candles.
Just to go back in the house where the monster is.
That's when I seen that, I was like, that's a wee bit stupid, because it might look good for that initial shot, oh yeah, this hallway full of candles, but like, they're wee candles that size, they're burning out in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Like
she's buying
the monster
candles.
blows them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the monster blows them out whenever he comes up. She's like, oh yeah, you have to keep, it doesn't light the light. Okay, well, when he can just blow out the damn things, it's pretty easy for him.
That's how you defeat it. You light a candle, you smoke some crack, and then you just wait, and then you're in the
light. She goes, oh yeah, I know to kill the monster. It doesn't like light. She then just takes about another 10 years using a shotgun on the thing that doesn't use light or fire or anything.
She had this wee
She even says the line. She even says the line when she has the the mattress was like, oh, or she's like lighting the candle. She's like, oh, the first light man had was fire, alluding to the fact that the thing was susceptible to fire.
Yeah.
And you're watching it like, why are you not using a flamethrower on this?
Oh
Take
yeah.
him out, please. But
Oh, I suppose.
that's wishful thinking in a horror movie, to be honest.
That's like I remember
I
saying
didn't
that to
think
you.
about that. Yeah.
I remember saying that to you like last year when we started like, you know, like making content more seriously and like really getting into making film and stuff a lot. It's like I want to make horror films, but I want to make horror films that like hold up to scrutiny. I don't want to make a horror film like that people can look at and be like, oh my god, that character's making such bad decisions.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that because that's the thing with horror movies. The only reason it's scary is because like the characters just consistently make awful decisions and get into worse like situations.
Yeah, like
that's just
even when Sadie's in the creepy house,
yeah.
she's literally walking around it, and then there's a point where like she sees the staircase and there's all this mold and dark shit on it, and all I could think the entire time was, who the would go in there? He would go up them stairs, but then she just goes up, and I'm like, okay, right, well, we're just going straight with this logic. Like, I enjoy it. I'm just gonna say right now, I would probably give this movie like a 5 or 6
out of 10.
out of 10.
Oof.
It wasn't amazing. It wasn't bad. It wasn't really bad. It wasn't really amazing. It was sort of just okay.
But he didn't tell you what the poem was about, and he's not going to because it's not going on YouTube. But let's get on to the meat potato.
Fuck you. Fuck you. It is. I can see the PSNI thing on it.
Here, roll the window down.
Yeah. Oh, he's going somewhere else.
yours. Got him.
Alright.
If it comes to that, I'm probably going to kill myself.
That was dreadful.
People have been calling it the Beast of Ballyboogie. You come around that and you're like, guys, isn't it like civilization?
Yeah.
And we're like, wait.
Now he finds it.
This is a cozy wee setup we got going here, you know?
Man, it's not
Trees behind us.
What's the point of even leaving?
Who said you could? Wait a minute. Do you know what? I was thinking about it there. Do you know what I think is actually one of the biggest... It depends on your point of view, but I think it's one of the biggest shortcomings of the film. Think about the Boogeyman.
Yes.
This isn't some like made up monster. Like the Boogeyman is like a famous figure throughout like history. Every kid knows what the Boogeyman is, right?
Yeah.
If this movie wasn't called the Boogeyman, it would just like you wouldn't know. Like,
Yeah.
It's just a generic monster. It's not like
generic.
There's no backstory
yeah,
either.
there's no Boogeyman to him, if you know what I mean.
And there's
They
no
just
real-
say Boogeyman, they don't actually get
There's
into
no
what the
real
Boogeyman
character
is.
to the monster
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
The monster kind of just comes out, does things, like looks creepy,
Yeah.
but like, yes, you can steal people's voices and stuff, but you never. The only time you see it is its eyes, or you see it like
Yeah.
slowly creep up to something. You don't see it actually. There's not even like a Jason where it's characterized by its mask
Or
look,
it's. Yeah.
or like Pennywise. It's sort of just this generic looking stick creature. That's all I can really describe it
Yeah.
as, a stick creature.
But like, why does he do what he does? That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like most of the time.
The
there's,
motives, yeah.
Was,
Well, I think that they try to say that like basically, it use like typical it drains people like its power is based off their fear. So if it kills people while like they are scared of him, he's like ultra powerful.
But why?
But that's the thing. But like, if you take Pennywise for example, he like kidnaps kids. Why? Because they're the easiest. Because he can scare them the most.
Yeah.
But why does he do it? He's an alien. He eats them. Like
Yeah.
that's how he gets food. The Boogeyman is it just? Does he just want to f up people's day? Like what's his motivation? Like why does he do what he does? Like
Yeah, I don't know if he is a demon or I don't know why.
it's scarier if you. Sometimes there's things that are better left to the imagination, but when it's something like the motives of why this thing is doing what it's doing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's like kind of important to know because otherwise it's like, is he just here just to like f
Like if I guess the
Yeah.
point
around
where
to
like
find
they're
out?
just like he just kills kids. Like that's like what he does.
Yeah.
That's like what the Boogeyman does in this
I
movie.
suppose.
Like in I'll talk about
And then
it
it says,
again.
and then it says, oh, it basically kills everyone in your family. That's
Oh,
like,
the crazy guy at the start.
yeah, because like they technically do all die to the boogeyman, but like
Yeah.
even I don't know, just someone about the movie. The entire time I was watching, I was like, you could. There was some moments that like I thought it was gonna be a jump scare and there wasn't. I'll give it credit for that, where it's like it's not overly jump scare predictable.
Yeah.
But my God, was there some points where I thought this is like jump scare predictable?
Yeah, the light scene in the therapy room with the red light going on and off.
Yeah, you
I was
you
like,
could just
oh,
tell.
something's gonna happen here, like. Now we got smoke.
Oh my god.
But it's never
It's a
cool.
Volkswagen there. Oh yeah, I'll talk about It again. I'll just
Yeah.
get that point out. But like, there's a scene in It. I think it is the first one. Yeah, it's the first one, where you know the fat kid in it.
Yes.
He's like
Yeah.
new to the school. He's in the library and he's like reading a book about Pennywise history.
Yeah.
And he's saying it. He's like, oh, because they all know about this legend of Pennywise, and he comes back and all. And it's a famous book too, so of course it has that backing. It kind of helps.
Hmm.
So does the Boogeyman, I guess. But yeah, the kid's like reading this book about this circus that went on like centuries ago.
Yeah.
He starts saying like, pictures or depictions of it from like artists. Then he sees like Pennywise's face kind of in the distance in a tree, looking
Yeah,
over like
yeah,
it's
that
like a
kind of
drawing.
shit.
He's like, oh, that looks strange. So Pennywise is some like really old entity that just never dies. It always comes back
Whereas
every
the
100 years or something.
whereas
Yeah.
the basically the backstory you get for the boogeyman in this one is, oh, he could have been alive for hundreds of years, even before dawn of man.
Yeah.
And that's like all you get is that one line where it's like he's been here for like ages, and it's like, okay, this makes him cool. How that's like I don't want the killer to be cool. I'm not saying that. I just want the killer to be somewhat interesting,
Yeah.
or to have an interesting design. And the face was interesting on the boogeyman.
Yeah.
Like it had an interesting sort of like weird it did creep me out, but it's more just everything it done, I could just tell. Like everything it done, I was just like, this is just generic.
Pointless.
It's just like you're basically killing to get to basically whenever it scares you, it just wants to basically make people fear, and it's like I get that it's a malevolent creature, it's got no real other purpose, but like.
Yeah.
Not that I'm asking to have another purpose, but like, you're going to be called the Boogeyman. Just add another layer of creepiness to it. Maybe even have it change forms.
Yeah.
That
I
could have been
suppose to say
something-
he
if it
prays
has
the
multiple
vulnerable, but
forms,
that's
like-
not much to go off.
Like, even create multiple design forms for it, and that would have made it better. Because seeing this one stick, like, basically on 4 legs stick figure walking about the place,
Yeah.
that wasn't even that big. Like, I only realized it by the end of the movie. It wasn't that big. It was about the size of like, yeah, I guess like it's normal. Like I guess maybe like a 5'8" human, 6 foot human.
Yeah, because it kind of crawls around a lot because it was hidden behind the sofa.
Yeah,
Didn't see the
but I don't
girl.
even know if it can change its size because it never goes into the idea of does it change size or not, or what happens. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Hopefully not.
For a second in the movie, I thought there was 2 of them.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
I thought whenever she like blew that one to pieces with a shotgun that was it. There was just another one.
Hmm.
But like that's not the case. It just sprung up and got her.
Yeah, so it just there's one of them that spreads itself across loads of different places. That's
Yeah.
where I was confused. Like, is there one in each house?
Well, like what I would assume is like
You
it
know,
was kind of teleport
yeah.
between the dark. That's what I sort of went out the
suppose.
idea of doing.
so
'cause, like,
they
it's always,
wait
like,
for it when they expect it. It shows up or
Well,
something.
it says it follows you wherever you go, but like the way I was sort of thinking whenever she blew that one to pieces or like shot it, and then another one just came and killed her, but obviously it's the same one. I thought is the type of thing because she's cursed with it and so Sadie, do they each have their own?
mhm.
But no, it's
Oh.
it's just the same creature. It's just he was just lying there pretending to be dead, and then he like.
After getting shocked about a million times.
Yeah,
But then he gets lit on fire and he's like,
yeah. Oh, that is a weird one.
Yeah.
It's like, is it just waiting in the house for the dad and Sid or Sawyer to come back
yeah.
whilst
that's
they
why-
are figuring
yeah,
out
like
better on
that's-
her or something? I don't
It's
know.
like, oh, I've tapped her phone now apparently. She knows they're entering the house. Like, let me go across there quick.
Yeah, she's like, hold up, I'm coming in the back window.
Yeah.
He kind of pulls them in.
Hell. To be honest, I mean, I did see at the end it popped up like, based on the story by Stephen King.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he made it and this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
But it's like,
They didn't get the same director.
I think, well, that's the start, but I think it's almost like, I don't know. I don't know, it wasn't like the worst thing I've ever seen, but the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like, it was just.
I describe it as mid.
Yeah.
Like,
It's-
it's not like it's not really good. It's not really bad. But like the fact that it is mid doesn't make that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if I choose to watch like all of the Conjuring movies or watch the Boogeyman, I just watch all the Conjuring movies or like any Conjuring movie.
Yeah.
Like there's better to me, and I think we're probably going to see Insidious 4 whenever it comes out.
Oh, you already know Insidious
So,
chapter 4?
Chapter 4.
shit.
I actually think it's chapter 5.
And honestly, comparing
Where am I typing for that
whichever one it is, comparing that to this movie will be interesting because those movies sort of just I find they'll be quite comparable, like just because half like it's actually different that because at least the monsters in Insidious at least have unique defining creepiness to them.
Yeah.
Whereas this guy is so generic, the Boogeyman is so generic that it doesn't even. Then again, I guess people would say like Jason's generic, right? Michael Myers is generic. Like if you just think about man with mask who goes around killing people, but like this thing was just like, I just didn't even. I didn't even really feel like scared by it at most points.
Peter Griffin's scary or not?
Telling Stew's more terrifying.
Stu in a bike.
I'm trying to think, what was the last horror movie? I was about to say, what was the last horror movie we've seen before this, but it was, we done a podcast on it already. The
Poop's Exorcist.
Oh, that was a bad
Deadly,
one.
Your Mum's with the Maggots. What the was it called?
Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Evil Dead Rising.
Evil
That
Dead
was it.
Rising.
Was it that? I thought it was Poop's Exorcist.
Exorcist
Oh,
was
no.
after that.
Yeah. Sorry, it was Pope's Exorcist, and before it was.
Because that was a Poop's Exorcist. I actually rate Poop's Exorcist better than that movie.
Really?
Have
Yeah.
you seen
I didn't
stuff
like-
about it though? I've seen advertisements for Pope's Exorcist all over the place now, being like, "This movie was so scary, audiences left movies." I was like, "No, it's not."
That's like Hollywood driven, isn't it?
Yeah, it has to be because
They're like 5 stars from this studio, 5 stars.
Yeah.
It comes up, it's like,
Yeah.
people. I mean, I'm serious. I've
Who's
seen
10?
I seen pop up ads and stuff like that, being like, "This movie's so scary, it forced the audience to leave the cinema." And it's like, we were pissing ourselves at like the the run from Russell Crowe. Like,
yeah.
the movie's not scary. Like,
I don't know, I should have put that bit in the trailer, I was saying.
the movie was actually scary up until like the end, where it just became like, I don't know,
Yeah.
Battle of Christ.
Avengers
Yeah.
Endgame Jesus edition.
No, yeah,
Lava
like,
coming out the ground.
he just gets
Throwing him back
possessed
to hell.
and he just sits in a throne in his basement for his whole life.
Is that a
It's like,
gamer? He's just sitting.
Here I am.
It's
Done
like,
it.
it's like the South Park episode of
Yeah.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, and the
Literally
family
that.
come home and they walk in the basement and are like, right. get on the throne.
Crikey.
Crikey.
Wow.
Then there's I don't know. I would say out of the past 3 horror, obviously you never seen Evil Dead Rising, Thomas, but out of the last 3 horror movies that we've seen, I probably I might put Boogeyman last out of those 3. I do actually think that even from an enjoyment factor, we did at least laugh quite a lot at Evil Dead Rising.
Pope's Exorcist first.
Oh, it has to be number 1. That
See,
run.
he's gonna go Pope's Exorcist like last or something.
Yeah.
Actually,
he really didn't enjoy it for some reason.
I just
Alright,
think like I've seen Russell Crowe films and that's like it's not like his best film.
Yeah, but it's like you're not comparing it because it's Russell Crowe. It's a horror movie.
I just love Crows.
Michael's explained like the movie starts. It's the Pope's Exorcist and Russell Crowe comes in the gladiator outfit.
It's me, Russell Crowe.
Are you
I will
not
be.
just starts fighting
It's
the demon at
me.
the end? Are you not
Everyone's
entertained?
clapping. Yeah.
It's so.
Oh my god, it's Russell Crowe. And like bras hit the screen.
As he does his little run.
He's like, watch this.
Mommy's with the maggots now.
Oh, that was number 1. After that, then.
Is it actually?
To be honest, I think Boogeyman's number 1 for me.
Yeah.
I just find it intriguing. What I pick up on recently in horror films is sound design.
Yeah.
And there's one that's very notable. I think Boogeyman was actually quite good for it. Because the...
That scene with the PlayStation, man.
I actually
Yeah.
thought that it could have been done a bit better, but I actually thought that was pretty.
That was
cool.
pretty cool.
It's a
No,
cool
well,
scene.
to be fair, the way this
Yeah.
movie interprets light into the film, where it does try to use like different variations of light, where it uses a video game as one where the kids was playing PlayStation.
Yeah, that was
There was
cool.
the red light scene, which was pretty cool, but that was kind of, you could just script that something was going to happen during
Yeah.
it. But at the same time, there's no real way for them to not have it be scripted that there's something's going to happen during
Yeah.
it. Like, imagine it's just red lights like flashing constantly, like they just nothing happens. You're just going to be sitting there the entire time, like, oh,
It would have still been effective, kind of
Yeah.
like what was it, linear horror?
Babadook.
Yeah, stuff like that where
Yeah.
there's no jump scares in the whole film until like the end.
Yeah.
But then like so there's suspense. So like the main character comes into frame and there's no jump scare, but she just grabs the camera after like a minute.
Dude, one
It's
of the most scary scenes was where I actually felt like, holy something's going to happen here, was even Sadie got locked in the room on her own.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
her. I was like, oh she's going to get killed here and all her friends are going to be to blame. I actually thought it was going to happen. I was like, oh, let me like, I was like, wait a minute, someone might actually die. Well,
Yeah.
I thought what was going to happen was one of her friends would go in at the last second, open the door, and like no one like the
Yeah.
you know like the cringy friends
Yeah.
was going to run it, walk in, and then like just get
That
white.
scene was so stupid. Do you remember when she
Yeah.
walked up to that blonde like girl and like slapped her?
Yeah.
When she was walking over, what I thought she was going to do is grab her, push her in and close it and be like, "You try," and then she gets like.
But
So it holds
that-
everyone.
that-
Everyone's going in to die.
That
One by
that
one.
would be a bit psychopathic.
That would be psychopathic.
Yeah.
You hear her getting shredded up on the other side.
Even when they're walking, I was like, your daughter's a
Oh,
psycho.
little schizo.
And the dad's like, I know.
The dad's like, I don't care.
It's how it is,
Dad's
right?
like,
Yeah.
pass me another beer, man.
Yeah.
The dad's
She
walking
won't
down
get
the
over this
hallway.
mum.
It's like, I just let my child play PlayStation for this.
He's coming down the hallway, slurring his words. Like, girls, what's going on?
Pass the booth.
My daughter's a schizo. Okay.
However, when you stay with me.
Wait, what were you saying there? You were saying like there's one movie in particular that stuck out to you recently for sound design and horror.
Was that?
Oh yeah, this one and then another horror movie. What's the most recent? What do you call them films? Is it Friday the 13th or
Halloween.
Halloween? Yeah. You know the most recent Halloween film. I don't know if you've seen it in cinema.
Ends? No, I never seen it.
I seen it at cinema, and I just remember the sound design being really good for that. Like that's the only thing that stuck to me with that film.
So the rest is
Everything
like-
else was ass.
Everything else was ass, but that part.
It was an okay film, but like, I just remember like the start of it was like so good because like, I don't know, they're interpreting like they're putting like sword sounds in it and all, but there was no swords in this scene. It was just like really weird noises to hear, that made it
Yeah.
really interesting to listen to.
Yeah.
Where it was just like,
Well, one thing I will give the Boogeyman, the creature, it was kind of creepy how it could mimic voices. But
Oh,
the thing
yeah.
is about it is, but and I'll get to your in a second because I think I
Yeah.
know why you're doing it. How the would you not be able to tell that it's the Boogeyman? Where every 5 seconds it's going.
That's not even why I was doing that. To be honest, it's more just I think it was like underutilized.
Yeah, it was underutilized, but even when he spoke as the people, you would hear him take pauses where because it's not his natural voice, and I'm like, how could people get fooled by this?
the baby's like,
There-
wait a minute,
The baby walks in with a shock and like, hey, say hello to my little
hey,
friend.
which one's the dad?
There's one scene. It's not really a horror movie, but there's one scene in a movie where voice mimic like has been used at that's actually terrified me. There's only ever been one that's actually terrified me. If anyone's ever watched a movie called Annihilation,
I think so.
I think it's got Natalie Portman in it.
Oh yeah.
It's based on a book. It's basically like there's this thing called the Shimmer, I think it's called, and it's like this dome that's basically cordoned off as like a nuclear war zone or like a what do you call that, no-go type zone.
Yeah.
But it's not like a nuclear thing. It's like this thing called the Shimmer, which is opened up as this massive dome, and once you go into it, like reality doesn't work the same. Things start to
Okay.
blend together. Like I think there's a bit where they get attacked by this alligator that's like has flowers growing on it and stuff like that. Like things start to blend together. But basically, there's this completely scene, and it's not like the voice mimic is trying to like convince them that it's their friend. But there's basically this scene where like they get attacked by this bear, and it completely like mauls one of their friends. And then there's a scene like way later in the movie where like characters are falling out and like two of them have been tied to a chair, and they have like a gun pointed at them by one of the other ones, like they're being interrogated. But you hear like this like thing mimicking like the dead girl's voice, and like basically the bear comes into the house, and it's like because it can't see, but it can like hear and smell, and it's like it's such a creepy scene. And the movie, it's not even a horror movie, so I think that's why it hits so hard.
Yeah, it's so much more.
But it's like
Oh,
the
yeah.
bear's basically, as it roars, you can hear elements of that girl's voice.
Yeah.
Because, like I said,
It blends in.
inside, because everything's like mixing together, because it killed her, like part of her DNA's mixed in with the bear.
Yeah.
So
So far, it's going to do sort of the trope where because it can mount the voice, it would walk around as that person. So it would appear as that person in the shadows.
I
But
thought
it
that
didn't
as well.
do that at all. Like, it basically just done the voice, and then whenever it basically caught the attention of the person, it basically just pounced instantly, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how it didn't kill more people. I thought that it actually would have been better. It's just like if it was like a whole. I know I've said before, if it was like a whole neighborhood getting infected by this thing,
Yeah.
and like there was actual like bad happening in the neighborhood that basically caused people to go like, what the hell is going on here? That would have been like better to me, but at the same time, I'm not going to take away from what the actual story was, because it wasn't. It didn't make me want to throw up, at least. Like when it comes to the storyline, like it was.
I guess at the end
good
we all
for the
start
most
throwing
part.
up.
Yeah,
It's just a lot of like confusing, like unanswered things, like why is it doing the voices?
Yeah, so
But, like,
It's
like
to intrigue
freakily.
people out, because it never did it when people could see it, but it's like, oh yeah, for the voice, it's like, why would it do it for the baby?
Yeah.
Because the baby's hardly gonna climb over the thing, like, and like to see it.
with the machine gun.
Yeah.
Do you know like the best way to describe the movie is? I think, and I think you might like agree with this, because there's so many ideas that are like underutilized. I think the best way to describe the film is they had a really good first draft and just never done anything else.
Yes.
Like they didn't go through to be like, here, see that idea there we have. What if we expand that, or that idea there is not really working? Let's like get rid of it, or like cut it down.
I
And
get
like
that,
really
yeah.
focus on like building it, because that's what you do with script. You write the first draft that's literally just good enough to like get from page to page, and then you go in afterwards and be like, okay, this would be better like this and all that.
Yeah.
It sounds like they just wrote like a really solid first draft and was like, yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
The one thing I do to say that they
Feel good
done
enough
better
at
than
the first
some
draft, you're like,
other
oh, let's not
movies
change
is.
this or something.
What I did say they done better than other movies is when it comes to the two parents of the kids who died, they had them almost be complete opposites, which I thought was cool. Which was the idea that one of them is so like disheartened and just disheveled and crazed by what happened. He feels the need to go and talk to a therapist to see if he can get help.
Yeah.
Whereas the wife is literally just full on gung ho. I need to kill this thing. They both end up dying, so now
That's why it didn't work for either of them.
Didn't work for either of them. But it actually got me thinking the idea of, did that guy bring the boogeyman? When I was thinking about it there now, that guy bring the boogeyman into their house?
Yep.
So like that's like that guy. So the shovel guy at the start, he completely them over.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
No, sure, they even said that, because like, Sadie said to his wife, like, yeah, you came over to our house, and then now we start to see it too, and she goes into that room by herself and she's like, oh Les, what have you done? Like even she knows, oh, it's in their house now because of you.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think that is what happened, where it's like he passed it on, whether or not he knew he was doing that, or maybe he thought if he passed it on, I don't even know why.
Yeah, he may have thought he passed on him and his wife could just kind of live happily.
I mean, you're not gonna live happily. All three of your kids been murdered by this stick figure.
Murked out,
Yeah.
like.
It's like, even if it's not there, you sense it or something, because the monster wasn't even in the house until he sacrificed himself in it. Because it didn't really follow him, because he's like.
Well, he openly said, because he was so used to it that's why he had to go to Will. Can you close the door? Because he's so used to the boogeyman.
But it wouldn't have been there because it's not like.
But like he's brought it there because it goes wherever he goes. Any dark place that he goes near, like in a house, it will automatically latch itself into these dark places.
Oh, that's.
Because and then he doesn't have to walk near that basement. He just goes there for some reason, and starts fighting it, which I never understood.
So
like, why are you going there to fight it? Because like, in that period, you can clearly tell from what happens in it that like there's been a scuffle happening. But how does that happen in a house where there's 3 people? Then he walks into the closet in the workroom, the mum's workroom, and starts fighting it. But I don't know if it's him laughing or it's the boogeyman laughing. I think it's meant to be him laughing because he's so insane at that point. But like he literally just leads it and then dies, which means it's probably completely fine being there now. Because it killed someone in the house.
Yeah.
So it's already sort of set in. I don't know
Yeah.
how the boogeyman works, but
Like,
that's how I would
like,
interpret
it's
it.
transferred from someone maybe because at the end,
Like,
and this is
so
what I
like
was
the one-
thinking. You see
Oh,
at the
okay.
very end, sorry, in the therapist room when the girl goes to close the door because she senses it.
Yeah.
I was thinking she's just like led it to the therapist now.
Well, I don't.
Why?
I
I
don't
want a
think.
sequel about the therapist.
I don't-
the therapist's
think
like,
that's
thanks.
the case, so I don't.
She's like, well, damn
So
it.
I think that's meant to be like a oh look at this, but then she just shuts the door because it's her thinking it in her head.
I hate
It's
movies.
Yeah,
something
just
to do.
dramatic effect maybe.
It's like a dramatic effect scene. So
I hope that's what it
Yeah.
is because I hate horror
Yeah.
movies. It's became such a trope in horror movies. It's like, oh, look at this geezer.
Oh,
Bruce just called into Los Santos Customs.
he goes right through Pets at Home. Bunnies guy.
before these was put, they'll do your final reviews.
What was I going to say? Yeah, it's become such a trope in horror movies now, where it's like they just can't have a happy ending.
Yeah.
It always has to be, oh look, they're fine.
Yeah.
Oh wait, like I hate
Yeah.
that so much.
Something else could happen for the sequel.
Yeah. What's
It's-
that, guys? Something could happen. So Boogeyman
Yeah.
2 can happen. Like they didn't kind of. But like to me, it's like I honestly feel bad if it was the same people. Like you've literally just went and defeated it.
Well, yeah, I think if it closes like that, it could also be a good thing. Because if it's received well, like, you know, the filmmaker has to be like, yes, this is guaranteed work. They're just drifting like crazy.
I hate this country.
Yeah.
I actually hate this country.
Yeah.
You have the Don in the front leading the way, then the other guy's just kind of following him, being like, "Woo."
It's like, get off my tail.
That's weird. They're going to a Ballard.
I am waiting for.
I'm waiting for that too, man.
No, I'm waiting for them to go into each other. Oh,
What was that?
he hit one.
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure he
hit-
did.
I'm pretty sure he hit one.
It's because they can't see a thing.
Smokes
Yeah.
out blinding them.
All smoke families over
Right,
here.
final reviews because we're
You
going to
get a couple boys.
show here. We're
Oh,
gonna,
here we go. They're coming to us now, mate.
Come to the cinema near you.
Yo, they're heading in there for some private time, mate.
They're gonna bang each other in the
Yeah.
exhaust pipes.
Anyway, so do you mean that, do we give it a number? You
yeah,
think?
no,
here?
number. I give it a 5 earlier,
Give,
5.5.
give it a number, and like your final sentence, just a wee sentence about it.
Yeah. So actually, I'll upgrade it. I'll upgrade it.
You go first.
6. Right, I'll go a 6. A sentence about it.
696.
Creepy, but monster lacked final execution.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Okay. It's my favorite out of the three I've watched recently, so I have to give it. I don't know what I gave the score for the other ones, but
I can't remember.
You just
I
demote
think-
them instantly, like.
yeah, get them off the planet. Give this one. In terms of films, it's not the best one I've seen. I don't think.
Oh, yeah, far from
Not as good as
that.
Chicken Run. So,
Have you seen the new Chicken Runs coming out? Dawn of the Nugget?
wait, seriously?
No, it's actually a thing that's from the Netflix.
Sweet and
this
sour.
year. Yo. So what you said? You said 10 out of 10.
Well, if it's like, oh
Now
man.
remember, it's a horror genre movie. We're gonna base this off, so like,
Okay.
don't compare it to like your favorite movie of all time.
Well, I think sound design is important in horror, so I think it was good in this. You know, it was detailed, even for the lamp going on and off. There was like sound.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, when its doll's cut off next, it's gonna be like loudly quiet in a weird way
Yeah.
for a long time. So that attention to detail builds suspense, like, easy wise. I think it's, you know, good, thoughtful filmmaking. So I give it
yeah.
like, I know Tom doesn't like it that much. I like it for.
Well, I gave it a 6. I'm indifferent
6,
about it. I don't
6.
like. I don't love
No,
it.
that's
I
what
don't
I'm
hate
saying. I had to go like a bit higher than you. I'd say I give it a 7 then.
it.
Yeah, 7. Yeah.
What's what you gonna give it?
Yeah.
I think I'll give it a 7 too. I think my
72.
only thought is basically kind of similar to what Tom said. Really solid concept. Really good concept. Like it's the Boogeyman. You could have done so
Yeah.
much with it. Solid concept. Decent execution, but like there was so much room for That's why I'm actually kind of, although it would ruin the ending, kind of hoping for a sequel because I think it could be done a lot better.
Or if it was just longer.
Yeah,
Yeah, I felt that's what I felt. That's what I felt.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
have,
twice enough.
just give an actual like have more characters, have something be killed off in creepy ways. Like, I don't know. But yeah,
Get like a snazzy detective in.
that is us for the 20th
We're
episode.
about to get like donut into the trees.
Yeah,
I think
so
we should,
we'll see you later, Mike's speed. That's a thumbnail right there.
that's a thumbnail.
That's it, mate.
Easy.
We're-
Alright, we'll see you back for episode 21.
Yo, that's a tiny spot up there. How are they not in a tree?
Yeah.
Hologram, mate.
Well, they're not real trees.
We'll keep an eye on the donutters. We'll see you next time.
Go,
See you
man.
next week.
Welcome to the ZeusWeusFilm podcast.
And make sure to support the video.